Hi guys, welcome to Orange Talk, the last Orange Talk, unfortunately, of the summer. Papimento and Sahbi, welcome. We're going to talk about the Dutch team that played on Sunday against Czech Republic. For our viewers, I'm sorry we had to digest it a little bit, so it's a little bit later than usual, but there was a lot of emotions, probably still. So let's discuss and let's kick towards the what happened actually with our team. I mean, nobody expected it, nobody saw it coming. Playing against Czech Republic, looking at the draw, everybody thought, this could be an easy route to the semifinal. So look, let's just jump into it. I just want your opinion on how you experienced that, how you saw that, and what went wrong according to you guys. So Sahbi, what's your take on this?
Yeah. Well, what went wrong? I think we could say what went well. Then we could keep it very, very short. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I was so pissed. I mean, I even dropped a small tear, and that's not because I was sad, but I was so angry. We got a coach who is not capable of coaching. We were playing against Czech Republic. We know the Czech Republic is an average team. They're doing okay. It's difficult to score against them, etc. But if you compare every player of the Dutch 11, the first 11, against the first 11 of the Czech Republic, I mean, it's obvious. It's a 1+1. So basically, we have better players. So it had to all do about tactics, and that's something that Frank really screwed up. We had of course we had players who didn't play well. Wijnaldum didn't play well. Depay horrible. I can name many players, but the coach is there to switch puppets. If you see, I mean, the tactics of Czech was quite easy. They wanted to stop the midfield. They wanted to stop Wijnaldum because he is the motor in the center together with Frankie de Jong. If you stop him, you usually stop the whole play. So once that happened, nothing went well, and that's the problem because Frank de Boer should have done something. He could have played Wijnaldum on a different position by dragging the players who should stay with Wijnaldum, drag them so we can have space for other players. It was horrible and clearly no technical ability of Frank de Boer whatsoever.
Pavimento.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Sahbi that it's all about tactics and formations. Okay, there was a whole discussion here that formations don't matter. It's about how you play it on the pitch and how you just as a tactic wise play. But for me, I would say it's also formation because look, I don't mind losing. The Dutch. I mean, they haven't won a World Cup, so we lost tournaments before, but we always had something that we would be happy with, and that's their philosophy of play. That's being on the ball, being the most attacking team, having like 70 to 80% ball possession, like not giving them a chance to breathe, like making them run for every inch on that pitch. And that's not what I saw. I saw a reactive Dutch team. I saw a team that gave the ball away to Czechia for them to set up plays and stuff. Like we were waiting for them to come. So what do you expect? You're gonna come into the physical aspect of the game if you give them the ball. That's not what you want. You don't want to get into the physical because the physical is not something we stand out in. We stand out in having the ball, being attacking, and in that sense, even the pressing was wrong. We were just holding back the whole time, waiting for them to build up. But with the 4-3-3 system, you would have two wingers putting pressure on that defense, which wasn't happening at all.
Okay. All right. So just to jump in, right? Let's not talk about the 4-3-3. Let's stick to the 5-3-2, which we have been playing for 4 games. We can talk about the 4-3-3 later, but just okay. Regarding the game and regarding the tournament so far, my question to you guys is: we played 3 games, right? I mean, those games. The Ukraine game in general was a good game. We did have a dip in form for about 10-15 minutes, but then we still pulled through and we won. Then we played Austria, which is a decent game. We played North Macedonia. I know you guys are gonna come to me and say levels. I know, I see already Sahbi laughing, but still, we won 3 games. So, you know, I mean, don't forget, when we went into the tournament, we talked about it last time, we didn't have that much of confidence going into the tournament. There were a lot of, you know, like people talking about, I don't know if this is going to end well for de Boer, et cetera, et cetera. Then we win 3 times, then you see the draw, then everybody starts to believe. And then without everybody seeing this coming again, just like I said, we lose to Czech. But it's not only that we lost, Papimento, it's exactly what you said. It's the way we played. I mean, we were sluggish. We didn't create anything. We lost ball. We didn't dominate. We didn't do anything. I mean, there was barely a player that played well. Actually, I thought De Ligt was one of the highlights until he made that handball, to be honest. So what happened? I still want to know from you guys, how is this possible? How can you go from, you know, like hero to 0 in just a couple of days?
Well, to start with, I mean, the 3 first matches should be considered exhibition matches. Come on, we're talking about Ukraine, North Macedonia, and Austria. I mean, look at Denmark. They lost the first 2 games. The third one they won. It's all about the playoffs. That's when the tournament starts, and not the phase where the pool phase. The pool stage where we need to play against mediocre countries. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I think the main reason why we played such a bad match is we played in another country. The first 3 games were played in the Netherlands, in the Johan Cruijff Arena. It's the climate was great. I mean, we got used to the climate. And then we played in another country where it's, I think, 15 degrees higher. And I think they were not capable of playing in such heat.
Well, the problem is not only that it was warmer, which is correct, what you're saying, because I also read those reports, but also that allegedly also, not allegedly, they did it. They came just 1 day before. They came to Hungary to play that game. So, and then you have such a difference in climate and temperature. So maybe that's a reason that they didn't really show themselves.
Exactly. And I think it's obviously the KNVB, the Dutch Association, and de Boer is to blame for, because they probably thought, well, we're so dominant. We won the first 3 matches with ease. So hey, let's stay in the Netherlands and let's go to Hungary 1 day before. And let's do it. They thought it would be very easy, but guess not.
Anything else except for this one, Sahbi, as a reason why we played, or do you think this is a dominant point or the most important factor?
No, definitely not the most important point, but it's the formation. They think it's the objective of Frank de Boer is, let me play those dolls in the field on the field, and then let them figure it out. Against Ukraine, you can do that. Against North Macedonia, you can do that. Against Austria, you can do that. But against Czech, where we play in the playoffs, one mistake can cause you a lot of trouble. And the only thing that Czech did was pressuring the midfield, pressuring the players who matters. And Frank de Boer didn't have any solution on that. And that's basically, and Depay didn't show anything the whole tournament. Wijnaldum did the first game, but yeah, they were, in my opinion, easy games. Frenkie de Jong did outstanding. I mean, just have in mind that Dumfries was our star player. A defender, a right wing back, a right back is our star player. That should say enough, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well, actually it does, because we discussed this last time as well. If you play like we're playing 3-5-2, 5-3-2, the wing backs are the ones that are free, you know, the ones that are able to make an impact in that formation. So
that's true.
So yeah, but it has to do with formation. Correct. Okay, so Papimento, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to be all Frank de Boer. It's not all tactics. It's also some players just underperforming. Wijnaldum had one of his worst games ever. Memphis also very
but then
bad
you change
game.
them. But then you
Uh,
change. Then it's Frank de Boer who should change, who should substitute them.
Yeah, but I think look, Van Gaal would do that, right? Van Gaal would change
Exactly.
that. But
Exactly.
Frank de Boer is not that type of coach, and status
Oh, we'll see.
of Memphis made him stay in. Um, but
Look,
look, it doesn't only happen with Oranje, right? It happens also with France. I mean, Mbappe yesterday wasn't playing dominant either, and he stayed the whole match, and he
right.
still took a penalty. So
Yeah.
like
So-
the status does matter sometimes in a team. But also Van Aanholt didn't
shouldn't.
play well. The substitution Male after we came with 10 men.
No, even
A lot of
Stekelenburg.
mistakes, man. I was so pissed, and we didn't
Yeah.
show our best qualities. That's what pisses me off and gets me sad also. Because if you consider Frankie one of the best players in the world, definitely top 5 midfielder, he showed too little in that game.
Mhm.
And Frank de Boer should always make sure he gets most of the ball, because then it's going to get dangerous. Him and Blind on the ball, it's going to be dangerous. So he didn't change enough for them to be so dominant on that pitch.
Yeah.
And that's something you can't blame him on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I just want to add to our viewers, Pavimento already gave it away. We're recording on a Tuesday. Thank you, Pavimento. So we watched France yesterday. It's okay. Listen, I just want to touch upon a couple of things that you mentioned, Pavimento. Let's talk about, first of all, exactly, you're talking about Blind and Frankie de Jong. They were limited in that game. But that's also, Sahbi pointed it out, the Czech were pressing. And the funny thing for me is, I cannot get it out of my head. Prior to the game, there was an interview, of course, the pre-match interview with the Boer, Frank de Boer, and he said, we're prepared for everything. No, I'm not joking. He literally said those words in Dutch. He said, we're prepared for any scenario, anything. So
he's not joking. He's a joke.
yeah, so that means that his scenario was, when we were going to press, what you saw, probably they were thinking about it, because in the beginning of the match, I don't know if you guys recall, there were a lot of long balls going, long passes from the back. Blind was giving passes to Dumfries, to other players, to Male, etc. So they were
But
maybe
not in between the lines, though, Juan.
No, but that's the point I'm trying to make. So
Yeah.
they were anticipating maybe a press from Czech Republic. That's not something we know for sure. But we saw a lot of long balls, which is something that didn't happen before in the previous games. In the previous games, you saw Blind having all the time in the world. Let's be honest, he was an amazing passer, but they let him play. And now the Czech didn't do that. They basically made sure that Frankie and Blind were neutralized. And what happened now, then the ball has to go either long or to the wing backs, and then we're basically neutralized. Nothing happened.
Yeah, and that's when you
Juan,
need Frank de Boer, and that's when you need him to make the changes.
But
So
look
what
at
would you do
Koeman,
then?
for instance.
Yeah.
Look at Koeman, for instance, at Barca. He sometimes put Frankie de Jong in a back position, in a back line position, if they're pressing so high, to get from under that pressure and for him to dribble into that midfield with the ball. He could have done that, man. We don't need De Vrij, De Ligt, Blind, and also Dumfries and Van Aanholt, bro. So he could have changed that as a tactic, but he doesn't do that. That's the whole problem. He doesn't anticipate that we need the ball more. We need to let Frankie pull back a little bit, to get on the ball more. He did very little for a coach.
And not only to get the ball, but also to create space for others, because he would take some players with him from the Czech Republic and create space for other players to get in. And that's something.
Yeah, sorry. And it's a disgrace that we had 0 shots in the first half. I'm not even sure we got a shot in the second half. But it's also a disgrace that we have a 50-50% possession in the first half. That's shameful.
All right.
Guys, we play reactive.
Look, I agree with you guys. For me, the main shock was not even the first half. I mean, the shock was that we didn't have any shot on target. But still, as a coach, 0-0 going into second half, you still have, you can manage, you can do stuff, you can change stuff. Nothing changed. And that's the main shocker for me. And when it was too late, then red card was given. And then he takes off our most important attacker. Actually, the one that was playing a decent game.
Our most dangerous player. Yeah, indeed. But yeah, he was not
And
that explosive. He was not
And
that
still, he
explosive
could have
anymore.
saved it, right? Still, he could have saved the whole game for Frank de Boer by making that chance. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, prior
the
to the
most
red card,
dangerous player.
if we made the goal, probably we would already, it would have been a different game. We would have been through, probably.
Exactly.
Probably.
So, guys,
Yeah.
today again, Tuesday, we just heard today as well that Frank de Boer, well, he resigned, but also KNVB was not really looking to continue the work relationship with him. So that means that there is a vacancy. First of all, before we talk about possible candidates, do you guys agree with the Frank de Boer stepping down?
Go
Yes.
ahead. Sahbi.
Yes. He's been stubborn in this whole process with his 5-3-2 formation. Tactics were horrendous. He didn't really show us. Look, we had an easy route to the semifinals, so he should have done much more with this team. The quality is there.
Yeah, definitely agree with Papimento. I mean, just figure it out. He started a new formation 2 weeks in advance of the main tournament. Which coach does that? That's one thing. Secondly, I mean, all the fans were already protesting against this formation, but basically he said, "Fuck off."
Not only the
Secondly,
fans, the pundits.
no, but the pundits as well.
Yeah.
They said we shouldn't play the 5-3-2 formation or 3-5-2, 4-3-3. That's our game. That's our DNA. Basically, he said to them as well, "Fuck off." Even the players in the squad were saying that they prefer the 4-3-3 formation, that they feel at home within the 4-3-3 formation, that they play it regularly, the 4-3-3 formation, and that this new formation is new to them, but that they would try to play it because they trust the coach. And even that, he basically said to them, "Fuck off, I'm stubborn, I'll keep it as a 5-3-2 formation." And you saw how it went. So that's first thing. Secondly, we also saw the Nations League. We did not perform against Italy. Okay, Italy is a football country. They play outstanding. It's not a shame. But then we got the World Cup qualification where we lose 4-2 against Turkey. Did you see Turkey in this tournament? Did you see our dark horse?
Dark horse was horrendous.
We lost 4-2 against them, and it would be a shock if he would stay as coach. It would be a real shock, and I would be terrified if we would play against Haaland in September when the Dutch team plays against Norway.
Yeah.
He would be crucified. I mean, we should be relieved that he isn't the coach anymore.
One more thing, man. I want to say this though, because in the last podcast, I was very positive, and I really thought that we were in form. You know, we had a form going. It was momentum. We were going into the games with a good feeling. You know, but when I saw the Austria game in the playoff round, I got scared because it wasn't the Austria we saw against the Dutch team at all. They were pressing. They were going for it till the last minute.
The game against Italy.
Yeah, it was a completely different team.
Yeah.
So I was already getting scared in that, wow, if Austria can play like that, we should not underestimate any team going forward. No. And I think that played also a little bit in this team.
No, true. But we should also take into account that this was the perfect opportunity to go to the semifinals or even the finals. If you look where we would end up against in our part of the draw. Yeah. I mean, we avoided Belgium, we avoided Italy, Spain, France, Croatia, name it. I mean, this was the perfect opportunity, and we lost against Czech. Yeah, I mean, nothing to add on this, man.
All right, guys. Just to finish off. So what should the KNVB do now? I mean, of course, they're going to come up with a short list. Who should be on that short list? Which names for you guys are logical or obvious names that should be considered? Sahbi, what's your take?
Well, I got 3 names, of which I think they could definitely suit to coach this team.
Mhm.
Let's start with Ten Kate. I think this man is a coach who coached on top level. He was a trainer next to Rijkaard at Barcelona, where he coached top players, Messi, Ronaldinho, Eto'o, and so on. I mean, if you are a coach of the Dutch national team, you should not coach them on how to shoot or how to take a free kick. That's something that they are already good at. You need to be more like a tactics person
Well, actually,
or people
after,
managers person.
well, actually, after watching the Czech game, I doubt whether they we shouldn't train them with that as well.
Well,
passing.
No,
Anyways, it's a silly
well, that's
joke.
true.
Go
That's
ahead,
true. That's true. But
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But just to summarize, we need a coach who can be a people's manager, who can give trust to the players, confidence to the players, and then tactic wise to do some tactic points to proceed. So and I think Ten Kate is a good one for that. On the other hand, you got of course Louis van Gaal, who is available, but the only problem is he wants total control. He's a dominant person.
But let me just interrupt you there a little bit. Look, the funny thing is, prior to assigning or giving it to Frank de Boer, there was a discussion about maybe doing Van Gaal, but then there was the whole media discussion about, but this group doesn't want, because the group actually, they had a say. Don't forget, they had a say who should be their coach. And they wanted a softer approach because they know if they get Van Gaal is a military coach.
That's true. But it was also the KVB who didn't want to proceed with him because he wanted to have total control, also from a management perspective. So that didn't go ahead. But I'm only stating this because he had a good journey in 2014. But that would not be my first option. And my third option would be Gio from Broncos. I mean, he's available, and if you can make Feyenoord champions, so then you're a wonder maker. So, I mean,
well, it's gonna take at least another decade for them to win. So, I agree with you.
I mean, so if he can manage that, then probably he can manage this as well. And he was one of the great internationals when we played in the World Cup and in even the European Cup in 2008. So I think he could do well as well.
All right, Papimento.
I mean, two are the same. I would say Ten Kate and Gio are the same for me. The only difference would be Seedorf. I think Seedorf had chances at AC Milan, at the relegation team in Spain. He did the Cameroon job with Patrick Kluivert, I remember. So he had very difficult jobs he got into. And I think that gave him a lot of experience. So look, if Marco van Basten can get a Dutch, being the Dutch coach without any experience, I think Seedorf should deserve a chance as well.
He's a good coach, but we should not forget.
Hold on, let me just say something. Sorry, I have to mention.
Go ahead.
So basically, when Van Basten was appointed, Van Basten was purely appointed based on his reputation and his name. He came with a clean slate. The thing with Seedorf is he doesn't have a clean slate. He has experience, but none of his experiences you can really mark as successful. I wouldn't say it's unsuccessful, all of them, but it's not successful either.
But one different situation. But if you want to compare it to Frank de Boer, they're on the same level. So there is no reason for him. Why is that not true?
Because Frank de Boer still has that Ajax 4 championships on his resume. Seedorf didn't win anything. Let's be honest.
But after that, he screwed up everything.